Hi, everybody. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? We're in Cancun, our first vacation in 4 years, and I'm so excited. Come join me. Say hello. This is going to be your December 2022 Oracle reading. And due to lack of space in my suitcase, which is quite small, what I'm doing today is the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And I have 3 piles, and you can choose 1, 2, or 3. Depending on what you feel is appropriate. And one might be, and there's 3 cards for each pile. Hey, Rhonda. And there's 3 cards for each pile, 1, 2, and 3, the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And you might choose 1 pile for your sun sign, 1 for your rising sign, 1 for your moon sign, 1 for the month of December, 1 for the month of January, 1 for the month of February, however you choose to do it. So how does it sound, okay? Because my husband brought the headphone speakers, which I'm so happy about. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know me or you're not familiar with my work, Elaine Marolakos Edelson with AstrologyMojo, want to help you get your mojo back. And in case you don't know it, the planets don't do anything to you, that we live in a cooperation with the cosmos. So when the planets make a move, you feel it because you're a sentient, eternal, celestial being. You feel everything. And when you make a move, it's reflected. It's symbolic by way of aspects and angles in a chart. And I will bring up the chart for December in just a moment. And so get thinking about an issue you want to resolve or perhaps need some insight on. And here are the 3. I mean, they all have the same face cards, but this is pile number 1. If you vibe on that. Hey, Roseanne, what the heck? Okay. This is pile number 2. I promise you they are 3 separate piles. And I mixed them so well this morning inside the room. And this is pile number 3. So whatever, they're all going to have different vibes. And I didn't look at any of the cards either. And I had to put them strategically. So, let me show you. This is where I am. It is so beautiful. Look at that. We're going to be down there in the pool and the ocean later on today. We're in Cancun. And it's a fantastic resort. Whoopsie. They're so accommodating and kind and lovely, and they have fruit and green smoothies. Okay, I'm so happy. They had every kind of food you can imagine. It's organic. And so our thing, in case you don't know, our thing is to do 1 new thing a day. And we established that some years ago for the family. So my husband and I were walking through the buffet for breakfast. And it's essentially like being on a ship, but you're on land. You have everything. There's pools and restaurants and everything. We're so blessed. We're feeling so grateful. First vacation in over 4 years. So together. And so my husband and I look at this one thing, and there's a woman standing next to me from, I don't know, another country. And I said, do you know what that is? And she said, no, I don't know. I said, well, why don't you try it and be brave? And my husband said, why don't you? 1 new thing a day. And I was like, okay, I will. So I put it on my plate. Let me show you a picture of it. Now, maybe you are familiar with it. I was not, however. And this is what it looked like. Okay, can you see that? It doesn't look very appetizing, but I ate it. It was delicious. Okay, and it is called, pardon me, if I'm not saying it correctly, semilla de amapola de queso. It was delicious, and it's good for Halloween because you get some like black stuff in your teeth. But basically, it's cream cheese mixed with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce and rolled in crushed poppy seeds. Okay, that was my 1 new thing a day. I didn't know what to expect when I bit into it, and I was like, I don't know what this is. But anyway, it was fun. Hooray! So please join me. Come say hello. Okay, let's just settle into the vibe. We have, I've got Jersey hair, as my husband puts it, and that's okay because I'm so happy. I was going to wear my bathing suit, but I thought it was very appropriate. Okay, so I want you to think about an issue that you might be having, or maybe you're just open to receiving information for your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, as I said, or perhaps you are looking at a person, maybe someone you're working with, and that might be pile number 1. Or perhaps you're thinking of a business opportunity, and maybe that's pile number 2. I don't know. And then maybe you're thinking of, how do I resolve this situation with a family member or friend or whatever. This is pile number 3. So however you want to work it in your mind, and just get quiet for a moment and tune in to 1, 2, or 3. And there are 3 cards in each pile. Then I think you'll be able to just pick the one you want and have it work for you. All right, so I'm going to start with pile number 1. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm not. What I'm going to do is show you what it looks like in the world right now astrologically. So we've got Sun, Venus, and Mercury all in Sagittarius right now. And so the Sag vibe can be on the high end, just very curious, inclusive of culture, excited about new opportunities. On the downside, loves to travel. On the downside, cannot stop traveling and therefore gets sick because of it, or is exhausted, or is feeling really stuck and confused by which direction do I go in. Now that's a general, right? The planets aren't doing it to you. It's just the theme of what you're undergoing. So when I do a collective reading like this, there's however many people there are, that's how many possibilities. But these 3 celestial orbs are opposing Mars in Gemini retrograde, and that's all the way through January. So think about, where do you feel like you're stuck, or where do you feel like you want to move forward, but you're confused by too many choices? Or how do I make the best decision for myself? What if they both look good? What if there's 3 choices? What am I telling myself? How does it feel? And when you're in your head and you start to spin, you can't really make an effective decision. You have to start trusting the inner workings. And I think I've told many of you that I was going to a Dr. Joe Dispenza week, which I did. It was absolutely life-affirming. It validated the 40 years of my life of this work scientifically, with 2 researchers and doctors there to show you this is what happens when you do a specific type of meditation, opening up all the energy centers and then activating the pineal gland, which it looks like a tiny pine cone of crystals in the middle of your brain. And interestingly enough, it also, the shape of the entire, if you did a cross-section of the brain and you saw the pineal gland, it looks like the Eye of Horus in Egyptian mythology and history. So activating, it is the eye of the needle, really, activating that part of you. You're just not thinking about it, you're being elevated energetically. And it shows in lab reports, it shows in your health, your well-being, it shows in how to make a decision and where you come from when you're making a decision. So I would love to see you meditate more, and not just quiet meditation, but an active meditation, where you tantric yoga breathing, where you pull it up all the way into your heart, past all the energy centers, throat, and then really get it going. And then it's just float. Not, I want a green car and it's a 2-door. Okay, what does it feel like? Focus on the vibration of the thing you want. Focus on the vibration of the thing you want, because you are the manifestor. What's the matter? You're the matter, and your matter is divine. Did I just tell you something you didn't know? Well, activate it. Okay, so we're using the 7 Colette Baron-Reid's Oracle of the 7 Energies, and we've got piles 1, 2, and 3. So get really quiet. Think about how you want to proceed. Choose your deck. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Leah. Okay, so this is pile number 1. It has 3 cards. Vibe on that if you like. This is pile number 2, also has 3 cards. I know they all look the same, but they're going to have a different vibe if you're really tuned in. And then here is pile number 3. So people are like, what? They all look the same, but they're not the same. Which one is standing out for you? Which one is speaking to you? All right, so choose your deck, choose your pile, and remember you can choose it for your sun, rising, and moon sign, for a specific issue, for the first 10 days of December, and then the next 10 days, so you wrap up the whole month with 3 decks, however you want to do it. All right, I'm just going to take a moment. Okay, there's a nice little shiver of a wave going through me. So I'm going to start with pile number 1. Now, if you chose this pile, we start with, ooh, this is a beautiful card. It's called, you know what? I'm sorry. About that. And so far, so good. Great internet connection. Okay, so pile number 1, the first card, is a 49. It's an ending with a process, and it is called willing release. So I want you to think about what that thing is for you, what you're ready to let go of, or what you've been resistant in letting go of. So a willing release, if you see at the top of the deck, there's a tiny little butterfly, and the seeds are starting to blow into the wind. So as you let go, the transformation can begin. It really is that simple, even though we hold on to something like, oh, I was going to do that thing and they took it from me, or I wanted that job and now I'm going to fight for it, or I wanted that plane ticket or that seat on that airline and now I'm going to relax. If you find yourself resisting something, relax, go do something happy. Crossword puzzle, chew gum, take a walk. All right, so we start with willing release. I feel this one in my heart. So this is a 26, but also is an 8. And it is community, family, love, and empathy. Okay, and it is called Great Big Love. So we start pile number 1 with the willing release in order to open your heart. What does great big love mean to you? Have it pour through you. People hear the word love, or they hear the word relationship, and the first place they go is, oh, my husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover. You have a relationship to absolutely everything. Your higher inner being, which is you're the aspect of your higher self. You're embodying something here on this earth and going, oh, let me see, I'm going to taste this. What if, oh, I don't like it? Now you don't like. So instead of talking about what you don't like for 10 years in therapy, how about we turn the attention to, let me try something else. Let me do something else. Let me really embrace something that I love. Because when you feel it and it feels satisfying, you're in. You've got great big love going on. Great big glug. Great big love going on. And nothing compares to that. It's not so much a person as it is the ultimate vibration. We are all frequency, folks. That's where we begin and end, frequency. So if you don't like the way you feel and you're making it about someone else or something else, you need to turn it in, look inward, feel inward, look in the mirror, and just start with, I love you. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's, I don't even like you. I met someone recently who said, and I said, oh, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. What's going on in your life? Well, I'm just looking to like myself. Oh, been there, right? Because I was you yesterday, I am you today, or I will be you tomorrow. So I feel you. So in order to have that willing release pile number 1, how about we start looking inward for great big love? And then we're going to recognize the land between. Now, the land between is an interesting place because that's when you are liminal. It's a 4, and a 4 in numerology is, I have to roll up my sleeves and work really hard. Got to work really hard. Or the 4 becomes a 22, and then you learn how to work with your higher inner being, listen to your intuition, and act appropriately without evidence, without proof, but just on gut alone. And this is a place that I would call liminal. And liminal is a foot in 2 worlds. You're in 3D, third dimension reality is victim perpetrator. It's you see people as separate than yourself, but you're actually all energy, so you're all one. It's just like when you disperse and you say, oh, the chair's over there, the person's over there, I don't like that thing, or why did they do that? I don't get it. Then we start judging things outside of ourselves. But the land between, beginning with willing release and great big love, let me tell you, you're ready for the big change. Is this resonating with you? I hope so. So the land between is, okay, look at the light in the middle. That's you. That is ultimately you. The light in the middle is you. And you're deciding, which direction do I go in? Now, if you've come from one place, been there, done that, and you're ready to go to the next place, and you're looking around, 3D, victim, perpetrator, 4D, fourth dimension reality is, I have a conscience. I still see things as separate from me, but I think I can create something new. I think I'm able to do that, because that's where the magic starts to happen. So focus on not which direction should you go in, but rather the light that'll get you there. Because a 40 equals a 22 in numerology, and that is knowing how to delegate when you listen to your intuition. Does that make sense? Let me just check in real quick. Hi, Kathy. Okay, and hi, Oscar. And Rikara, in love is the love within. That's what I'm picking up in your messages. Absolutely. We are. I don't want to sing. How does it go? Who sings this, Dean? I know Dean's on. We are children. All right, I'm ready to go to pile numero dos. We're in lovely, if you're just joining us, I'm in lovely, spectacular Cancun. And right down there are 3 pools here. They're like infinity pools, and there's kids playing, and it's pure water. There's no chlorine, it's not salt, it's just pool. It's just a clean water pool. And then we're gonna go hit the ocean. It's very brizzy today. That's where we are. I'm feeling so blessed and so grateful that we have made it through the past few years, through funerals and whatever, right? We're here. You can relate. Okay, so let me just, okay. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. If you chose pile number 2, this is for you. We start with Earth Magic. Okay, I love this card. Earth Magic. You are grounded. You are grounded in what you know. Now, Earth Magic is, look at that, in the earth, okay? All these little stars and sparkles, that is you. You're the energy. You see the ribbon that wraps around the ankles and the legs? You're the energy coming in from the universe. And as you ground yourself in the earth, you can possibly do some earthing if you chose pile number 2. Earthing, if you're not familiar with it, it's where you take off your shoes 10 minutes a day and you find some sand by the beach, you find water, you find earth. Even if you have to go to a park and just take off your socks and shoes or sandals, depending on the time of year, and just put your feet right on the grass. And what you'll do is this is a scientifically proven phenomenon, you'll actually pull up electromagnetic field from the earth, and it will ground you. And it can reduce inflammation. It helps to get you out of your head. It helps with clarity. It helps your cellular regeneration to do. I love Earth Magic. All right, and it's also planting seeds, eating and growing organic things. So if you picked pile number 2 and you're not feeling grounded, now's the time. Now's the time. And I know you can do it. Look, if I can do it, you can do it. And this is a 1, so that's about independence and new beginnings. So let's start with being grateful for what this earth has to offer you. And I start out every morning on a morning walk with a morning prayer. It's kind of like a mini invocation, thank you, sun, for illumination, for helping things grow, for keeping us warm, for giving us energy and power. Thank you to the air, with all the elements. Thank you to the air for, the beginning of a new day, start of my next adventure, for new ideas that'll get me there. Thank you, Earth, for the grounding and the many paths to my truth. So pile number 2, we start off with Earth Magic. That's phenomenal. And then we move to Close Encounters. Now this is another number 1. It's a 10. And so I want you to think about, what is the one thing that you feel you're almost there. You haven't done it yet, you haven't made it, or oh my gosh, that was a near miss or a near hit. Good thing I caught that just in time. Oh, the thing was falling and I caught it before it broke, or slammed on the brakes just as I came to and I got grounded before I hit the car in front of me. And I want to take another look at something she has said in Close Encounters. Because what I said up top about relationships, ultimately, your relationship to it's the me, myself, and I syndrome. It is, the relationship that you have to your body, because it keeps you grounded here, earth magic, earth magic, keeps you grounded. The relationship you have to your body, the relationship in your mind, between your mind and your body, is one battling the other. Pile number 2. Deck number 2 is one battling the other. Oh, I'm so thirsty, but I want to get this email done first. Right there, stop. That's an issue. That's separation from your needs being met. You want to take care of your body and your mind simultaneously because your spirit is just waiting to come right through. And always, when you're not ready to be so alone anymore, the close encounters of the past might have been, wow, that was a good thing I didn't marry that guy. Or I'm so glad I divorced, or maybe I'm ready to leave this person or this job, or maybe I need to have a conversation with a friend of mine because it's not jiving. I've been giving and not getting back. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you've been taking. But in either case, the separation, and I see that as why this second butterfly is in the cage, protecting itself from those close encounters that can produce tremendous healing and transformation. Now, not everyone is meant to be your best and highest, BFF. They're just not. But when you meet someone and you're very present and aware of how you are interacting and where you're coming from when you're interacting, it's like you meet someone who's famous and you might think, oh, it's just, I wrote a screenplay, and if I just wedge my way over there and I can scooch up to this person and maybe, So what's the ulterior motive? It's not organic if that's where you're coming from. Or you see someone and you think, oh my gosh, that person they look crazy. I'm just going to pretend I'm invisible. Now, there's ways to protect yourself, but if you're naturally in a state of harmony and you're aligned body, mind, spirit, the only thing that can come to you is what you're vibing, is what you're resonating. And it's done. It's taken care of. You don't have to think your way through something or pretend that you're hiding behind the bush because, you see an ex-boyfriend or friend that you have, is in the room. You don't have to come from that place. So close encounters can be a very transformative experience, and transformation, as represented by the butterflies, is as you are coming out of the chrysalis and starting to think, I have integrity. My boundaries are intact. My power is activated. I am pure conscious love. Deck number 2, pile number 2. And I will only attract that which is beneficial for me. And if it's something that's a little uncomfortable, even better. So you can clear it up and move it along. And then the last card is, oh my gosh, okay, you do all that? I love this. I didn't know about any of these cards ahead of time. And I love elephants, tender embrace. Okay, and it's a 22. And that is empathy and power and the ability to sense another's need without always having to give at the sake of yourself. Did you hear me? Sensing, empathizing, but not always having the need to give to someone at the sake of yourself. So we start off with Earth Magic, pile number 2. Get grounded. Be here right now. Feel your feelings. See what's around you. It doesn't mean it's going to be there forever. If it's not validating what you want, you can think about what you want in the future, what the next steps are, but be present while you're doing it. And then come out of that place of hiding where you felt, it's easier to just do it myself. Really? Then why are you on a planet with billions of people? Why did you choose that? So think about that, right? And then when you do all that, look at the art on this and the touch. Oh, I just saw it. I just saw it. Look at the little butterfly at the bottom of the tusk, because when there's tender embrace and you love yourself first, right? Me, myself, and I, body, mind, spirit. That's when you resonate a new frequency and attract to you friends, family, strangers who become your new tribe. I love that. And what do we have? We have a 1. We have a 10, which is essentially a 1 that equals a 2, and then we have a 22. So I hope this is helping. We're ready to go to pile and deck number 3. Let me just check in. Okay, pile number 3, we begin with, and thanks for being here today, folks. I appreciate you. Okay. Well, with pile number 1, we had a willing release. This one is, you've been round the block. You got to let it go. Let it go. This is a 6, a 2, and a 4. So it's, you've been working it, and it's about an issue that you're obsessing over. So if you are having trouble doing that, you know, think about hummingbirds like you see in the card. Hummingbirds are, it's a false notion that a hummingbird will die if it's completely still. We look at hummingbirds out of our kitchen window every day. And there's one especially who sits at the top of a twig of a tree in our neighbor's yard. It's this big, and it just sits there and it looks around. And when it's ready, it swoops down to where our salvia plant is or where our water is. And it's taking its time, it's observant, and then it moves to a place of freedom in flight. We have a lot of hummingbirds around us. So think about that. When you let it go, what is it that you're trying to control that you can't? You can't control something. Just like I hear over there, they're getting a little out of control. We're at a resort right now, and we're enjoying the ambiance of everything, and they just turned up the volume. So let it go. Because if you're not able to let it go, then you're hanging on to the past. And if you're hanging on to the past, you keep activating the same neurochemicals that tie you to a past that is unsupportive, that is defeating. Does that make sense? I hope so. Let it go. Okay, because, oh my gosh. You know, if you chose piles, the decks, piles number 1 and 3, I think you're going to have a really powerful month or week or however you chose to set it up. Once you let it go, they're not going to let it go. They are dancing up a storm. You are then broken open. 28, broken open. Can you see the light? This is what I experienced at the Joe Dispenza week. Exactly what people experienced, because you go all the way up the energy centers to the crown chakra and above. Because above, 8 to 12 to 16 inches above your head is your soul's energy coming down through you. So when you let it go, pile number 3, when you can forgive and let it go. And another way to say let it go is stop obsessing over something that has already happened that you cannot change. Now, I know that that's not easy. You know, been there, done that. I was you yesterday, am you today, or will be you tomorrow. But what I'd love to see you do is incrementally, if you're like, how do you let it go? This is what they did. This is how they did it. This is what I didn't get. This is what I didn't get. So when you're focused on lack, L-A-C-K, pile number 3, I want you to incrementally grab a hold of your whole self and look at something neutral, like, I really love the color of this glass. It is so pretty. And then for the next couple of moments, you might be thinking about something over there and like, oh, yeah, I was going to do that thing. And then that creeps in that they did that to me. And then you stop and take a nice deep breath, because the momentum in the Mercury in retrograde represents you going over stuff in your head, over, obsessing. What did I say? What did they say? Why did they say that? Did I really do that? What are they talking about? And so when you get stuck in that loop, that's when you have to incrementally turn it towards someone who's having a party. Like they are over there. Let me see. Can I turn this? I guess we're having fun. So pile number 3, we want you to have just as much fun, because as soon as you release the need to control something that's already happened, you are broken open. And in that space, support yourself. Support yourself with meditation daily, with connecting to your heart, to your breath, to music and sound that helps you feel free. Because once you do, oh, and this, the numerology on this is 2 and 8, and 8 is empowerment. Now, it could be financial empowerment. This can be you weren't given that promotion that you wanted. The delays are happening with money or bank, or with a community, or with how hard you've worked towards something. You know, you've been trying to let go of the losing weight, or gaining weight, or getting in shape, or getting something organized for a project, and it's just not happening. Release it, because then when you release something to the universe, remember, you're the power, you're the matter, creating matter. And you may not believe that because you're addicted to external circumstances. Well, I would only do it if they, you know, if they created a law, or yeah, isn't that nice for them that they got that job? You know, I work twice as hard and look at them. Okay, whoa, back it up. It's the attitude that needs to stop. The attitude. So we want to move toward absolute abundance. And when we do that, we look at, what do I have now that I love? Just name a couple of simple things. Pile number 3. I have a body. I can speak. I have food. I have water. I have shelter. I have a beautiful sunrise, a sunset. I have a friend who really supports me. I have the universe. I have music. Pick something that you love and start focusing incrementally on going from what I don't have to what is that I do have, that I'm grateful for. Because gratitude and appreciation are the vibes that create harmonious frequencies that can come to you. So that then the third card is, wow, you're in for a big month, pile number 3, and that is seeing beyond. That is the pineal gland activation. Pineal gland activation. That means, look at, one eye has a star and one eye is looking right here, right now on what is, but the other eye is focused on eternity, serenity, harmony, energy, the energy that uplifts you. So if you're not doing any kind of body work or exercise or meditations, I would highly encourage you to start. Let me just check in here. Okay. There's activity. So if I'm hoping that this makes sense, and that you can understand that pile number 3, when you let it go, when you stop obsessing about something you cannot change, and you start incrementally changing your thoughts to focus on something that gives you satisfaction and joy. It could be the breeze. Like right now, I'm digging this breeze. I know I have Jersey hair, but I love that too. I used to hate it, but I love it too. I love that I can sit outside in a beautiful place and talk to you through technology. It's not like a wagon train. It's going to take you 30 days to get to you. or you know, the mail post. And it might not ever get there. But so when you move your thoughts to something that is simple and satisfying, remember, folks, you're not going to change a problem with the same mind that created the problem. You can't. It doesn't work. It just doesn't. It makes you feel like a victim. Because I'm working. It's not working. It's not working. Then what do we focus on? We focus on what's not working. What do we get more of? The energy we focus on. Wherever you put your attention, what I've been saying for years, wherever you put your attention, that's what grows. So if you don't like what's happening in your life and you move your attention to, oh, something satisfying, you give yourself a break. That's when it all opens wide. And that's when, with consistency, you see beyond the veil. And that's a 3-6. 3 is communication, but it's not about talking, it's about perception. And then 6 is how you put that energy into community and family. And then that equals a 9, and that is the ultimate ending for the new beginning, the humanitarian vibe. So that was really powerful. I hope this has helped you. Did this make sense to people? Let me just check in. Thanks for being here today. Hi, Bennett. Chelsea Bennett. I love the name. Oh, sending some love to some other folks. Chelsea Bennett, you are soliciting for a reading, and I don't appreciate that. But I do wish you the best. So if there's anything else that anyone would like to comment about their initial reading and what they got from it, I would so appreciate the feedback. And I think it's time to just wrap it up with one final card for everyone. So let me hear what anyone has to say about what they just got. And then I'm going to take all the piles and put them back in and see what we can wrap it up for the month of December. And I'll mix this up together. Spot on, all 3 piles. Thank you, Rhonda. I really appreciate that. All right, I'm just going to delete the Chelsea Bennett because that was inappropriate. And you set a healthy boundary without any anger behind it. Because it's going to happen. Okay. Let me get one final card for everyone, for the group. This is not a time for personal readings. If you are interested in personal readings, you can, well, I'm redoing my website. How many times have I said that? But it's going to work. It's going to happen. You can go to AstrologyMojo and sign up to get a free chart on a reading. And then from there are other goodies you can access. Okay. Hello from the UK. All right. So again, if you're just tuning in, this is not a place for personal readings. That is done one-on-one. And you can purchase a session with me. And if you come back every week, I'm usually here with some type of offer. And pretty soon I've got something very special coming up. So just come back every Thursday, 8:30 Pacific, 9:30 Arizona time, 11:30 Eastern, and 4:30 UK, I think. All right, this final card is for everyone. You can always go back and listen to the replay on YouTube and or on, I haven't done timestamps in YouTube. Well, I won't do timestamps in YouTube because I'll be here on vacation, but when I get back, I will. But you can pick your pile, 1, 2, or 3, or you can watch the replay in Facebook. Okay. So what I just pulled is the Time Machine. That's a very fascinating card. And it talks about how you get lost in something you do over and over again, and what could you do differently this time? And was it Einstein who said, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and you expect different, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So when you're in a time machine, and let me tell you, there are certain dimensions that you can enter that it feels awkward, it feels new, it feels uncomfortable. But as I said earlier, when you start with one new thing a day and it feels satisfying, you up your vibe. And when you move your energy and your vibration to a place of satisfaction and compassion and joy, then that frequency moves out into the wave. And that's what you are. That's what we all are. We're waves. We see ourselves as separate, but we're not. But when we're on like the Wheel of Fortune in tarot, or when we look at time and what we can do with it, Time is an illusion. It only exists on this earth so that you can show your progress or your stagnation. So when you look at the time machine, what number is it? 3. It's all about perception. It's about perception and communication and what you would like to do and how you'd like to get there. And then you have to move your energy and your frequency to match the thing you want to matter. What matters to you? If you focus on anger and frustration, you're going to get more of that. That's just energy attracting energy. That's manifestation. Manifesting doesn't mean positive or negative or neutral. It just means what you're creating. So with a time machine, I want you to think about all the things that you don't want to do anymore, just briefly, and you can write them down. I don't want to be judgmental. I don't want to be insecure. I don't want to be these things. But what are the opposites? Opposite of insecurity could be confidence, could be powerful. However, you see it, write those down, and that's what you focus on. You keep changing your mind, your perception, your thoughts, your actions toward the thing that gives you joy. And when you raise your frequency, that's when things start to come to you magically. And what do I always say? It's like Christmas always works out for me, and every day is Christmas. And it's not a religious thing. I'm not a religious person, except I'm religious about my spirituality. So when I think about the things that I want to create, I am loosely basing it on, yes, abundance, creativity, support, health, all that stuff. How would I like it to look? Well, I'm going to rely on my higher inner being to work with me and to guide me so that I trust my intuition. That's like my roadmap. And it's like, oh, I got to turn right here. It just feels exciting. Listen to the vibration. Like you walk into a room and you just don't want to be near someone. Listen to the vibration. Because when you do, you'll be guided toward your truth more and more. And then your time machine becomes now. What time is it? Now. Wait a second. Wait a minute. What time is it? Now. Because now is all there is, folks. Thank you for joining me here in Cancun, our first vacation. Thank you for celebrating with me. Happy December. I'm not certain if I'll be back next Thursday because I have a medical appointment. Sometimes you can't change them, but I'm going to do my best to manifest that. We'll see what happens. Thank you again for being here, and please join me again in the future. Remember to share, like, subscribe, because when you comment and you share, it ups the algorithm, and that helps me to reach a larger audience and more folks so that they can too be happy and dance. All right, folks. I'll see you soon. Be well. As always, I wish you peace.